Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the Daily Indian Express newspaper analysis for the date 4th as well as 5th April 2024, brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy. Okay, let's get into the today's newspaper analysis. Mentioned here are the list of articles which we are going to have the analysis in the upcoming slides. So have a look into it. Okay, let's analyze every article one by one. Supreme Court likely to hear 100% EVM-VVPAT tally after 2 weeks. So the news with regard to the petition that has been filed for EVM as well as VVPAT tally, that is 100% EVM-VVPAT tally rather than using the EVM only for the cross checking or to check the integrity of the election, which is checked in the only handful of booths, polling booths. So rather than checking the handful of polling booths, the 100% EVM-VVPAT tally need to be made. This is what the petition is. Petition was made by some petitioners in the Supreme Court. So with regards to the petition, Supreme Court is going to hear the case after 2 weeks. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to Indian polity. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with GS paper 2 through a major topic called Indian polity, under which a subtopic called appointment to various constitutional posts, powers, functions and responsibility of various constitutional bodies. So this is how the news has been related with examination. Let's look into the further details of the news. Supreme Court said it is going to hear the petition which is seeking 100% verification of EVM votes with the VVPAT tally. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the voter verification paper audit trail, that is in short form VVPAT. It was first introduced in India in 2014 Lok Sabha election. It is an independent system which consists of two parts. First is VVPAT printer and another is the VVPAT display unit, where the display of the particular symbol for which a particular voter has cast the vote will be displayed. It is attached to EVM, which allows the voters to verify that their votes are cast as intended, because they could able to visually see the paper slip that is coming out of the EVM machine. So through this he could able to verify that the actual paper which is showing the symbol and the symbol which he or she has casted the vote is tallying, so that the individual voter can get the confidence on the election process or the voting process that is happening in India. So this is the major reason why the EVM as well as the VVPAT integration has been made. So when a vote is cast, see, this is what the process will be. A slip is printed which contains the serial number, name as well as the symbol of the candidate, and it remains exposed for 7 seconds for the voters who has casted the vote. So thereafter the printed slip automatically will get cut and it will be falling in the drop box which is placed beneath the VVPAT box. And VVPAT for verification, why it has been introduced and why it is been used, for what it has been used is, see, the result of EVM can be verified using the slips kept in the drop boxes of the VVPAT, and VVPAT can be accessed only by the polling booth officials, not by the voters. The paper slips are deemed to be more authoritative than the EVM tallies. Whenever there is a conflict arises that there is a discrepancy with regards to the voting means, then the Election Commission of India will be tallying the VVPAT slip with the EVM result. In that sense, the if the cross-checking process is going on means, the VVPAT papers or the slip will have upper hand in terms of the authority when compared to the electronic voting machine tally. So voter verification, however, is only done in extreme circumstances, whenever there is a discrepancy is occurring and whenever there is a situation arises that it checks the integrity of the election process means, then during that kind of time only such a kind of tallying or the cross checking the EVM with the VVPAT slip will be made. So what is the significance of this VVPAT? See, it allows the voter to verify that their votes are cast as intended, and it prevents any discrepancy or manipulation in recording of the voting. It provides means to audit the stored electronic results, and also at the same time it enables the cross-checking of votes in case any discrepancy occurs, like as I said in the previous slides. It serves as the additional barrier to changing or destroying the vote by the discrepancy, the corrupt or the malfunction voting machine, or by the corrupt or malfunctioning corrupt personnel. And it enhances the voter confidence as well as trust. This is the major reason, this is the crux why the VVPAT has been introduced, to enhance the voter confidence as well as the transparency in the election process. So this is what the significance it holds, but it also has some challenges. The first and foremost challenge is the technical glitch, malfunctioning as well as the jamming it could cause, because it is also a machine which is made up of electronic device and it is prone to technical glitch, malfunctioning or jamming. And the VVPAT machine requires more maintenance, storage spaces as well as the security arrangement, and also the transportation cost is also very high with regards to the VVPAT. VVPAT machine may not be fully effective in ensuring the voters verification. So these are all the challenges it has. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of the Election Commission of India, its structure, function and the constitutional backup it has. Secondly, we should also be aware of the Model Code of Conduct and the Representation of People Act 1950 as well as 51. These are all the things which we need to be further aware of, along with the news which you have seen in the previous slides. And with this, we have reached the end of this topic. DOVAL calls for shunning of double standards in the combating terrorism at the SEO Security Conclave which held in Astana. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to current events of national as well as international importance. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with GS paper 2 through a major topic called international relation, under which a subtopic called important international institutions, agencies, forums, structure as well as mandate. So this is how the news has been related with the examination. Let's look into the further details of the explanation part of the news. The SEO Security Conclave is held in Astana, as I said in the previous slide. What are National Security Agency? National Security Advisor has said is that the perpetrators of terrorism should be punished, and at the same time the connectivity project need to obey the sovereignty as well as the integrity of the other countries. And what he also said along with it is that there is a need for holding accountability for the sponsoring for those states or the persons, those who are sponsoring, financing as well as facilitating the terrorist activities. So this is what the concern that has been raised by the National Security Advisor at the SEO in SEO Security Conclave which held in Astana. So let's look into what does this Shanghai Cooperation Organization is about. So SEO encompasses approximately 60% of the Eurasian area and 40% of the global population. The combined GDP of its member states accounts for 20% of world GDP. The main goals are to promote cooperation in politics, security, economics as well as culture. And it has permanent secretariat in Beijing, which is in China. So this is what the details of the SEO is about. Let's look into the members. Who are all the members of SEO, which is very important from the perspective of prelims. So Shanghai Cooperation Organization has 9 members, which includes China, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Uzbekistan as well as Tajikistan. So these are all the member countries which comes under SEO. And what is the significance it has is that first and foremost, it enhances the cooperation of securities among the member countries. Secondly, it enhances the military activities, and at the same time it reduces any kind of military tensions, and it also acts as the channel to reduce the military tensions that has been happening between the countries through this organization. Thirdly, it will ensure the economic cooperation, and at the same time it also ensures the cultural integration with regards to the people to people connection. So these are all the significance it has. So but it has certain challenges. The organization is facing certain challenges like power imbalances. So within the SEO, there are certain countries are using their muscle power as well as their economic power to show the dominance over the other countries. And secondly, the economic integration is also becoming very difficult because of the ideological as well as the other difference of opinion that is arising in the organization. Thirdly, external influence as well as the terrorism as well as extremism related ideas. So these are all the areas of concerns with regards to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And what are all the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of World Bank, IMF, its structure, function as well as the objective under which it has been formed. Thirdly, we should also be aware of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank as well as Asian Development Bank. So these are all the areas which we needed to be further aware of, and along with it we should be aware of the new development bank of BRICS. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Ring of fire. So recently there is earthquake in the Taiwan. So this is why the news has appeared in today's newspaper. Let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to India and world geography. Similarly, under mains, through a major topic called geography, under which a subtopic called important geophysical phenomena like earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activities as well as cyclone. This is how the news has been related with examination. 9 people were killed and more than 900 were injured and after Taiwan is hit by the biggest earthquake in the last 25 years. The magnitude of the earthquake was 7.2, and this is the data according to the Taiwan's geological institutions, and the US Geological Survey say it is equal to 7.4. So the epicenter of the earthquake was 18 km southwest of Hualien country in eastern Taiwan. So Hualien county, not country. This place is very important from the perspective of prelims, which we should be able to locate in the map. The multiple aftershocks were experienced after it. Taiwan lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where the 90% of the world's earthquake is taking place. So because of the reason of location of the Taiwan, this earthquake has appeared. That is the reason why the news has elaborately discussed about what is Pacific Ring of Fire and why it is called as Pacific Ring of Fire, and what is the major reason why it has become the Pacific Ring of Fire. So this is what the news is about. So let's look into first what is the Pacific Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is essentially a string of thousands of volcanoes as well as earthquake sites that runs along the rings of Pacific Ocean. The horseshoe shaped ring is nearly 40,250 km and it traces the meeting of many tectonic plates. This is the place where major borders of the tectonic plates will be meeting, and it includes tectonic plates like Eurasian, North American, Juan de Fuca, Cocos, Caribbean, Nazca, Antarctica, India, Australia, Philippines, and other smaller plates that encircle this region. The Ring of Fire runs through the Pacific coast, which includes US, Indonesia, Mexico, Japan, Canada, Guatemala, Russia, Chile, Peru as well as Philippines. So this is what the geographical location of the Pacific Ring of Fire. So why Ring of Fire is vulnerable to earthquake? So the earthquake are triggered by the tectonic plates, which are constantly in touch with the other plate. So the rough side of the plates are in constant interaction with each other. As a result of the friction, this place is prone to the earthquakes. An earthquake occurs when one plate slides past the other plate. That is, whenever the lighter plate is sliding past the heavier plate, that is, the heavier plate will be going down. As a result of the friction, the earthquake will be occurring in the region. So this is the region where more amount of the tectonic plates are interacting with each other. There is the high chances as well as the more probability that most of the tectonic plates will be sliding past each other during some point of time. As a result of which, this place is getting repeated frequent earthquakes as well as the other volcanic activities. So the quake in Taiwan, which is the earthquake that has appeared today, is due to the interaction of two tectonic plates, that is the Philippines sea plate as well as the Eurasian plate. So this is what the thing is about. Let's look into what is the reason for many volcanoes in the Ring of Fire. Okay. See, the volcanoes in the ring of fire is due to the movement or the constant interaction of the two plates or the two tectonic plates. So whenever one lighter plate slides past the heavier plates, the heavier plate will be going down because of the heaviness or the density it has. As a result of which, it will be during its travel towards the beneath of the earth, it will be interacting with the it will be facing huge amount of heat, as a result of which the melting of the metals as well as the other polymetallic things that is present in the tectonic plate will be happening. Because of the melting of this kind of metals as well as the other things, the constant convection as well as the resultant process will be taking place, which in turn will be leading to increase of the magma. This magma will be coming out in the form of volcanoes. After some period of time, this will get freezed, which in turn will be converted in itself into the volcanoes. So this is what the reason why it is called, why the Pacific ring of fire is dominated by volcanoes, because of the interaction. So primarily it is because of the interaction. Secondly, it is because of the melting of the heavier tectonic plates which is going beneath the earth. This melting happens because of the increase in temperature. As a result of melting of the tectonic plates, the molten part will be rising upwards, and after some period of time it will get freezed, which in turn will be leading to volcanoes. So this is what that thing is about. This is what the details of the Pacific ring of fire is about. So what need to be studied further is, we should be aware of the different layers of earth. Secondly, we should be aware of types of plates and what is the earthquake, volcano and tsunami is about, and what is the process under which it has been formed, and what are the different types that are coming under it. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. How to check your name in voters list and what to do if it is missing. So the news is related to voters list and what a particular citizen need to do if he or she, if her or his name is missing in the voters list. This is what the news is about. Let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to Indian polity. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with a major topic called Indian polity, under which a subtopic called salient features of representation of people act. So this is how the news has been related with the examination. Let's look into the details of the news. Newly eligible voters must get their names enrolled in their voters list. Even the older voters who have already voted should also have a check with regards to the name in their list. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the checking process of the electoral roll. So one can check their electoral roll on the website of the Election Commission of India or in the Election Commission of India's Voters app. On the site, we can able to look up to our name through by entering our voter ID or by our mobile number or by entering our personal details like name, date of birth, etc. So the first two process will be very easy. That is, the checking or details with the help of the voter ID or checking the details with the help of the mobile number will be very easy. But the third option, that is the checking the details with the help of name or the date of birth, will be leading to certain discrepancy because of the error. There are some cases where the voter's name or the voter's date of birth will be typed or entered. There will be a mistake in the voter's roll, as a result of which, if a particular citizen is entering his name, means there might be a glitch in accessing the voter's detail by logging into the portal. So this is what the linking is about. The voters list also of the voters list information of the Election Commission website is displayed under the following column, that is epic number, name, age, relatives, name, state, district, assembly constituency and polling station. So this is how the list will be given in the Election Commission of India's website. So if the name is missing on the roll, what can a citizen do? For those who have been registered as voted earlier but now could not able to find their names in the list, means there is still a time to apply before the to apply to become the voter for the phase 2 to phase 7 of the Lok Sabha election. The Election Commission of India carries out the continuous update of the electoral roll till the last date of the nomination of the respective phase. That is the states where the respective phase is going to be held, and in those phase, what is the last date of the nomination will be taken as the cutoff date. So until this date, for example, in Tamil Nadu, it is 27th of March is taken as the last date for the nomination, and so that the continuous change of the electoral roll can take place till the March 27. After that, we could not able to make any kind of changes. So this is what the meaning of this statement is about. And what the election commission officials are saying is that, so we should not wait until the last date of the nomination. We should check our details prior to the 7 days before the last date of the nomination. So to ensure that there won't be any kind of last minute delay. So this is what the thing which the particular citizen need to do with regards to the missing of their data in their voters list. So this is what the details is about. So for new voters to register as the voter, one must fill in form 6, which is available in the Election Commission of India's website. Apart from filling the details like name, gender, address, date of birth, and relatives like father, mother, husband or wife, and the applicants need to give the self-attested copy, self-attested copy of one of the followings like birth certificate issued by the local body, as well as the death certificate, etc. And Aadhaar or PAN, driving license, certificate of class 10, 12, etc. A self-attested copy of the address proof need to be also provided along with it. So these are all the things which the new voters should have looked into. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, you should be aware of the Election Commission of India and its structure, function, as well as the mandate. Secondly, we should also be aware of VVPAT, its important details and the challenges as well as the significance it has. Thirdly, we should also be aware of the parliamentary democracy of India. Finally, we should have a look into the model code of conduct, how it has introduced in India, and what is the historical evolution of the model code of conduct, as well as the representation of people like 1950 as well as 51. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Service activity hits the 13.5 years high in the March according to the PMI index. So this is what the news is about. Let's look into the linkage of the news with the examination. Under prelims, the news is related to in economic and social development. Similarly, under mains, it has been related with GS paper 3, economic and development, through a major subtopic called Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resource and growth, development and employment. So this is how the news has been related with examination. Service activity has rose to 61.2 in terms of its value of PMI, which has increased from 60.6 in February, which is high 14 years. This increment is the 14 years high according to the PMI data. So let's look into the Purchase Managers Index. It is an economic indicator which is derived after a monthly survey by asking questions to the different companies. It measures activities of purchasing or activities at the input stage itself rather than the output stage. In terms of the index of industrial production, which is released by Ministry of Statistics every month, it will be measuring the output of the particular organization. In the case of PMI, it will be measuring the input of the particular organization. So this is what the difference between PMI as well as IIP. There are two types of PMI. One is manufacturing as well as service PMI, and PMI does not capture the informal activities. So this is the lacunates. If the PMI value is higher than 50 means, then it is considered as the particular sector is expanding. If it is lesser than 50 means, then it is considered as the particular sector is compressing. So PMI data has been released by S&P Global, and it is derived from a series of qualitative questions, which like the variables. The questions are related to 5 key variables. They are the variables, the new orders, output, employment, supply, delivery items, as well as the stock of items purchases. So these are the 5 variables. The questions related to it will be asked to the companies, and the respective weightage are allocated to each one of them. Combinedly, out of 100, a particular value will be derived after the question as, if the value is greater than 50 means, then it is considered as expansion. If the value is lesser than 50 means, then it is considered as contraction. So this is what the PMI is about. Let's look into the significance of it. Since we have looked into the challenges of it, because it could not able to look into the informal sectors of the economy. In terms of significance, it acts as the leading economic indicator, and the central banks of the many countries will be using this data for deciding their benchmark interest rate, and it also gives the indication for the indication of the economy, so that it could act as the pull factor. If the particular data is good means, then it could act as the pull factor for the investment to comes in, because this data will be closely monitored by the foreign investors. If the particular data is showing, if the PMI value of the manufacturing as well as service sector in India is good means, then it will attract the foreign investment from other countries. So this is what the significance it holds. So what are the things which we needed to be further aware of is, we should be aware of the index of industrial production, the industrial policy as well as the manufacturing policy, and we should also be aware of the Make in India scheme. So these are all the things which we needed to be further aware of, and with this we have reached the end of this topic. Let's look into today's practice prelims question. Mentioned here is the today's practice prelims question. So those students, those who are watching this session online, please do comment the option point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board. So with this, we have reached the end of today's session. So please do like, comment, share as well as subscribe Ganesh's YouTube channel, so that you will be receiving daily current affairs session and also the weekly environmental as well as science and tech session, and also any other important session that will be brought to you in the future by Ganesh AS Academy. Thank you.